Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, from Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's time for the NXT Event Center Wrestling Report. And now here's the man that will bring you all the wrestling happenings from the WWE Superstars of tomorrow, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans 1977. And this is the final NXT before Worlds Collide, because we have a lot of wrestlers from AAA, some wrestlers from AAA and TNA wrestling tonight. And wow, what? And what? I'll tell you something. Anything can happen in the WWE, and that, you know, it doesn't matter who's in charge. It doesn't matter if Vince McMahon was in charge, TKO, or even Triple H. Anything can happen, and anything is possible in the WWE. And a lot of crazy stuff went down to the point where it gets more insane by the moment. And believe me, and you know, being a wrestling fan since basically since the 80s, and lots of insane stuff has gone down during my time watching as a fan, and still watching today, and it's just completely nuts. I know a lot of news going around about the drama of R-Truth being released, Carlito being released, and rumor is Gunther and Miz took all references of WWE off their social medias. Are they next? Who knows what the story is there? And I'm telling you something right now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is going to get bowling shoe ugly as we go along here. And I mean bowling shoe ugly. But we're not going to talk about what's happening in the reports and the dirt sheets right now. Let's talk about what happened on NXT, shall we? Because there's a lot to get to. I mean, there's a lot of ground we got to cover here. You think that this is the first week of June, for goodness sakes, and it's starting off hot. All right, it's starting off hot as Javon Evans was kicking off NXT, and they were talking about the Fatal 4-Way match. Laredo Kid was in the ring. Also, he is the AAA World Cruiserweight Champion there, so who knows? I don't know anybody's going to put that title. I don't think he's going to put that title on against guys who are over the Cruiserweight limit. And, as you know, Ray Phoenix is stuck on a plane. He wasn't going to make it, so it was supposed to be a summit. Ethan Page comes out, the summit's a farce, yada, yada, yada. All right? He starts talking smack to Javon Evans and started talking smack to Laredo Kid. But then, all of a sudden, here comes Super Sean Legacy of Evolve. He's got the winner of the Fatal 4-Way for the North American Championship next week. So, anyways, and as they were talking, here comes the Vanity Project. Like the Three Stooges of Evolve. We're talking about Ricky Smokes, Brad Baylor, and Jonathan Drake. Ricky Smokes and Brad Baylor are known as a tag team called Swipe Right. I think lots of women will want to swipe left, except for Zeta Steele. Who knows? She'd be sleeping with all the members of Vanity Project, for goodness sakes. Including the big guy, Bryce Donovan there. Anyways, and so they start talking some smack. Everybody's fighting in the ring. And then in attendance, the AAA Mega's champion, El Hijo del Vikingo, he knocked off Alberto El Patron. I'm sure a lot of people are thanking God for that. And he will be defending that title against Chad Gable, a.k.a. El Grande Americano. So you got that. And Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank are taking place in Los Angeles, so nobody can tell me that El Grande Americano is not Chad Gable, because El Grande Americano is Chad Gable. If you see the boots on, it says CG, that's Chad Gable. He claims, he borrowed them. Right. Very good. I'm kind of hoping that he gets unmasked during the Money in the Bank ladder match. I'm hoping he does. He gets unmasked. And there's no disqualification. He can use that loaded mask all he wants, but when that mask comes off and it's Chad Gable, I'm going to say busted. I'm going to say busted right there. So, anyways, six-man tag match, Chase U, the team of Andre Chase, Uriah Connors, the fourth generation wrestler. As you know, Uriah Connors is the son of Fit Finlay, and also Cale Dixon, a former contestant on the Bachelorette, I believe, took on Dark State, and Shaquan Sugars was in the corner of the big three. That would be Osiris Griffin, Cutler James, and Dion Lennox, and Dark State ended up picking up the victory. And then Abel was talking to Laredo, Legacy, and Evans, and he said, you know what? There's 4 of them, 3 of you, get a partner, 8-man tag. And so Evans says, I don't think we'll find a partner. It'll be 4 and 3. We can handle it. But Dragon Lee says, nah, I'll be the 4th man. And they were like, okay, we're cool. So Dragon Lee will be in that matchup. Now, Sarah Schreiber interviewed Trick Williams, where Trick Williams says he'll defend the title against Mike Santana, and he claims that he will retain the title. Meanwhile, Tyra May Steele, we'll just find out who will make her NXT debut tonight, made her NXT debut tonight, was talking to Carly Brad about winning LFG. She says the scariest thing about it is disappointing the Undertaker, because she was part of Team Undertaker. And Ariana Grace interrupts Steele, disrespecting her, and going back to her old ways, which I'm kind of sad, because I'm starting to like Ariana Grace, you know? And she was standing up for her father against that idiot Robert Stone. Robert Stone. I can't believe I said it like that. That's gonna be like, oh, we're gonna get a soundbite for Eric now. Robert Stone. It's Robert Stone. And I thought for sure that she would turn a new leaf, but she's going back to her Miss NXT beauty pageant ways. And then I think Tyra May Steele looked at him because I got my first opponent. So rounds matchup. Miles Bourne, Charlie Dempsey, as you know, the British rounds match, 6 rounds. 2-minute rounds, of course. Once a fall occurs, the round ends. Technical knockout and all that good stuff. Kind of missed those. So in round 1, now his stipulation: if Miles Bourne wins the matchup, he can walk out of NQCC, no quarter catch crew. Now, it was Miles Bourne took round 1. Round 2, there was no pinfall, but Charlie Dempsey kind of sucker punched him in the ribs, and Dempsey took round 3, and then Miles Bourne, in a big upset, took round 4. Miles Bourne wins the matchup. He's out of NQCC. Meanwhile, the Culling was supposed to be going for a tag team matchup, a 6-man tag. I think it was against Hank and Tank and Josh Briggs. So, or was it Josh Briggs, Yoshiki Inamura? But Izzy Dame hits Brooks Jensen in the back, and she says he's out because he's not fully loaded into the Culling. Now, can be one or two things. Brooks Jensen is gone from NXT and gone from the WWE, being released, or the fact that they could bring Country Grit back together, Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen. Who knows what is that situation? So, anyway, she said she pushed the tag team match back to next week for those two. So, it seems to me either it will be Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura or Hank and Tank. Who knows? I think it's Briggs and Inamura, if you ask me. Then Tyra May Steele took on Ariana Grace, and Tyra May Steele ended up winning that matchup. Oh, just to let you know, for Worlds Collide, actually, no, not yet. Meanwhile, I'll get to that. Sarah Schreiber interviewed Mike Santana. Says he's not doing this not just only for TNA, but he's got a daughter, and he's doing this for her. Fatal Influence. Now here's where the fun part begins. The women's division. You gotta love it. You gotta watch this, right? Fatal Influence, mainly a new champ, JC Jane, was adjusting the NXT universe. JC Jane disses the fans, and this is all the women in the back. And then Lainey Reed came from the crowd, interrupting JC Jane, saying that she'll take the title. She'll challenge him to take the title. But then Jordan Grace comes out. And Lola Vice comes out and says, no, baby girl, I'm taking that title. And here comes Jordan Grace saying, hey, if anybody is going to get a championship shot, it's me. And then Jada Parker interrupts Jordan Grace, and y'all had your shot. I want my shot. I want the title. And then Kaylani Jordan was about to talk about taking that title, and all of a sudden, Lash Legend. Yep. Lash Legend says she wants a title shot. But then, as Jada Parker continues to run her mouth, Thea Hale blindsides her. All the women brawl except for Fatal Influence and Lainey Reed. Now, as the women brawled, the lights went out. I figured, Wendy Chu, does she want a shot? Is there, or I don't know what's going on. But then there was a spotlight on the balcony. The camera pans. Mariah May has arrived on NXT. I'm going, what? I was like, no. I was like this. No, this is not real. It's happened. Oh my goodness, that's right. Mariah May has arrived on NXT. She says, I've arrived, and the women's division, the best women's division in the world, has got more glamorous. That's right, the glamorous one, Mariah May, has arrived on NXT. They didn't mention her name, but that could be a name change. But everybody went nuts. I'm like, Mariah May has arrived on NXT. Wasted no time. It was like last week she's gone from AEW. Now she's on NXT. Holy mackerel. I mean, unbelievable. I just like, what in the world, man? That's insane. You know, it's like I don't know. It's like I didn't expect her to make an appearance that fast. I mean, everybody was talking about Ricky Starks and Ethan Page going, and all of a sudden they both arrived out of nowhere in NXT. So now you add Mariah May to the mix. This is going to get interesting. You're talking about WWE. It was on fire. Okay, they signed 4 of the biggest international stars in wrestling for the women's division. Julia from Japan, Stephanie Vaquer from Chile, Jordan Grace, right here, the good OSV, and now Mariah May from England. Holy cow. And now with Vaquer and Julia now on the main roster, Vaquer on Raw, Julia on SmackDown. Roxanne Perez is also now on Raw. And rumor has it that Jordan Grace is going to go to SmackDown. This is going to get insane. Mariah May arrived at a great time. And where the women's division is on peak, you release a lot of wrestlers. You make room, you get more wrestlers in. And Mariah May, holy Christmas. So I think once Mariah May puts pen to paper, it'll be only a matter of time what her name will be in NXT. Who knows? I mean, I just can't believe Mariah May has now, oh man, after the historical feud with Tony Storm, timeless Tony Storm on AEW, I'll tell you one thing, she may have to use some of those battle strategies that helped her beat Tony Storm and leveled up her feud with her to NXT. Once you get that, once Mariah May has those battle strategies, man, JC Jane's in a world full of hurt, sister. And believe me, JC Jane, watch your back when it comes to Mariah May, because you're going to need Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix in order to defeat Mariah May, because this is going to be crazy. I mean, even the Stevie Turner was impressed, talking to the Evolve women, and then Kelly Armstrong's who's going to step up. As you know, speaking of Evolve women, tomorrow night, Jin Tala, formerly a.k.a. Lee Laurel, will also make her Evolve in-ring debut in the WWE as she faces Carly Bright. So you're talking about this. We get 2 LFG ladies making their debut, in-ring debut. Tyra May tonight, and she defeated Ariana Grace. And tomorrow night, Jin Tala, a.k.a. Lee Laurel, will make her debut in Evolve. It's going to be something else, let me tell you. Then they had an injury report on Ricky Saints. And it was like a crushed larynx and all that. He wasn't able to use his voice. So Vanity Project and Ethan Page talk about this is what happens when you mess with Ethan Page. So let's go out there and do what we do best. And then the 8-man tag is Shawn Legacy, Laredo Kid, Javon Evans, and Dragon Lee against Ethan Page and the Vanity Project, which is Jonathan Drake. Now, Legacy and Drake will be 2 of the 4 men that will do battle to crown the first ever men's Evolve champion in the WWE tomorrow night on Tubi. The other 2 competitors, of course, Keanu Carver and Idris Enofe, and Ethan and a other tag team, Swipe Right, Ricky Smokes and Brad Baylor, join up with All Ego and Ethan Page, and imagine those 4 joining forces. Lord help us. And in attendance, because this was a heck of an insane matchup, but in attendance, it was Mr. Iguana, Aerostar, and Octagon Jr. They were facing, well, Joaquin Wilde was injured during the matchup, and he was unable to compete at Worlds Collide. And now, taking his place, it will be Cruz del Toro, and Dragon Lee of the LWO will join up with Lince Dorado. Remember, Lince Dorado's made his return. And they'll be facing the team of Mr. Iguana with this pet iguana Yeska, I think that's what she called it. Which is like a little puppet. It's pretty funny. I like Mr. Iguana. He's really entertaining dude. Then you've got Aerostar and Octagon. Aerostar I've seen in Lucha Underground, so we know how good he is. Octagon Jr., he's also one half of the Aztec Warriors with Laredo Kid in TNA. That I say get those two challenging for the NXT belts. Obafemi talks to Turner and Robert Stone about signing a contract. The NXT title will be on the line next week as Jasper Troy will have his second matchup against Obafemi for the NXT Championship. Jasper Troy does not play around. And that's Booker T's person. I'm telling you. Jasper Troy versus Obafemi. Well, as Big E would say, big meaty men slapping meat, folks. And believe me, when these two big kaiju guys go at it, man, batten down the hatches, you're going to need a Megazord to defeat those two. Or Super Sentai Mecha King or something. Meanwhile, Solo Ruka and Zarya still worried about Tatum Paxley. But then Izzy Dame interrupts them, trying to talk to Paxley about not line herself with Ruka and Zarya. We'll see what happens. Tony D'Angelo talks to Luca Crucifino, and he says, you need to trust me on this one. I got us a tag team match against the High Rise. Now will be the team of, obviously, Tyreek Eway and Tyson DuPont. And it looks like Tony D'Angelo's not trust. I think you're going to see Adriana Rizzo betray. I think Stax is going to have the family, but this time around it'll be with him and not with the Don next week. Well, the TNA title on the line, Trick Williams against Mike Santana. And this is an insane matchup. And then Elijah gets involved trying to protect his investment, possibly. I don't know if he wants to face Mike Santana or make sure. But First Class ended up showing up. As you know, AJ Francis is back technically on NXT when he was known as Top Dollar, or as Michael Cole would love to call him, Flop Dollar. Ended up attacking Mike Santana, costing him the TNA title. I can guarantee you, this coming Thursday, I think First Class is going to be public enemy number one. But I'm sure if Robert Stone defeats Santino Marella in a matchup this Friday against All Odds, where the winner will become the full-time director of authority, I think they'll be well protected by Robert Stone. But I'm telling you one thing right now, there's going to be a lot of ticked-off TNA people. And if I were First Class and Trick Williams, I would enter by the back door and get some security on that, because I'm telling you something right now. So what I get out of this NXT event tonight, 2 words: Mariah May. I'm telling you, I was shocked to see it. Like, we didn't know when she was going to appear. We figured wait till after a major pay-per-view event or something, a PLE event, something like that. No, Mariah May out of nowhere. It's total shock. I don't know what her name will be in NXT, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. Be a tweak, it could be a tweak change, like Ricky Starks to Ricky Saints, or are they gonna, Mariah May Mead, hers her last name, so it could be May Mead, or M3. Think about that. Mariah May Mead, M3 or 3M. I say put M3. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what she decides on the name and all that good stuff. It's been insane. It's been an insane day, but nevertheless, want an event, NXT. Get ready for Worlds Collide, kids. This coming Saturday. Let's get rolling with that, okay? So, that is all the time that we have on this great show. Episode 2294. We're 6 episodes away from 2300. I'm really excited about that. Tomorrow, we got Joker's Wild, the first Wild Wednesday of June 2025. We also got Evolve, and we get AEW Dynamite. Now, here's the skinny on this one. because AEW Dynamite is going to run till 12 o'clock, what I'm going to do is for Thursday, when I get home from work, I will give you the Evolve report and the AEW Dynamite Fighter Fest report, okay? That's what I want to do. This is going to warn you guys ahead of time that way, because I don't want to stay up too late and trying to do the videos and upload both of them, and I end up staying up till late till 1 o'clock in the morning. Not going to have that. So, just to let you know, I will do the wrestling videos for Evolve and AEW Dynamite Fighter Fest for Thursday. Thursday after work when I get home, because like I said, there's going to be a lot of videos I'm going to do over the weekend. It's going to be an insane weekend again. First week of June, you got summer coming around the corner. We're about, all right, today's the 3rd. We got 18 days left till spring, so the temperature is getting kicked up a notch. So I think Thursday is supposed to be up to 8 in the 80s. Praise the Lord about that. Let's go do that. So yeah, insane. It's going to be insane, folks. Insane in the membrane, as always. So that's it for episode 2294 of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977, NXT Event Center for June the 3rd, 2025. I got to check to see how the Red Sox are doing, because they were tied up in the 9th, so they were tied up, and I got a message from positive feedback. Are you seriously? You want to replace the positive feedback? You made a mistake. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Guys, have a wonderful day. Until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.